man, what's good, YouTube? I'm back with another video. Thank you. Hey, man, I've been slacking. A lot's going on. I got a lot to worry about in real life. I know. I'm supposed to be grinding these, and I'm not fucking grinding. What is wrong with me? What the? But we back. Set the programmer. Little reaction. Why Naruto vs. Goku with no limbs, blindfolded, sick and tired, sick or tired, is not close. I mean, we team Dragon Ball around a bit, per usual. But I think they might, you know what I'm saying? They not tripping. No limbs, blindfolded, sick or tired. He's whooping Naruto. Sage mode. Nine Tails, Jinchuriki, QB, whatever the fuck that shit mode. Sage a 6-pass mode. Karama. Baron mode? Like, come on now.
Two guys wearing orange, black, blue, or adorned with spiky blonde hair and even blue eyes. They both transform, glow, and even become giant monsters. Naruto vs. Goku is a multi-decade-long meme of a matchup that has generated more discussion than could probably ever be fathomed by mere mortal men, from angry debates on old message boards to thousands of modern-day YouTube videos. As time has gone on, Naruto has grown much more powerful than his prior iterations, with some pretty respectable statements and feats showcased that apply to him after he has basically started his own Naruto Super type sequel series, which has made things more fun when thinking about these two battling to the death. However, let's be honest, as far as we're concerned right now, this ninja man is just not beating Goku. Probably not ever.
Yep,
so,
I
the
see
internet, having loads of common sense, as always, decided to try and even the playing field and drastically nerfed Goku with more and more handicaps. Say removing a limb, limiting what powers he can and can't use, equalizing stats, putting a blindfold on, etc., etc., etc. Until we have reached this abomination you see before you. Goku, with no arms or legs, blindfolded, with earplugs in, with the heart disease, and directly after a long battle.
Alright,
We're going to be assuming that Goku, which I'll be calling Goku Cripple for this video, is based on current Dragon Ball Super Goku, but without any limbs, considering the time he was created. Although it should be noted, the meme format images shown tend to use a Dragon Ball Z Buu Saga Goku render, so if necessary later into the video we could also maybe briefly discuss that specific version.
Yeah, no,
though
there's
for
no
now
way.
you get the idea. With that being said, let's settle this debate once and for all. Can Naruto unironically defeat crippled Goku with all of this? To do this, we have to solve and explain a few things. Just how strong are these two anyway? How much stronger than Naruto is Goku at all? Then from there, we have to really deduce just how much of a nerf to Goku is losing all of his limbs.
Dead serious.
How much of a nerf on top of that is losing his
Whose
eyesight and
idea
hearing?
was this?
How much of a nerf is an insane, intense battle usually? What kind of nerf is the heart disease even like? You'd be surprised to know that we actually have the answers to all of these things, and they are directly quantifiable, and we have actual answers to all of them, meaning we actually really do know how strong Goku Cripple is with almost complete certainty. So sit back and enjoy learning some as usual.
Once everything's perfectly organized, I'll
Sit back
start
and
working
enjoy
on
learning
my
some shit. That's how we
thesis.
like to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Since we've
Education
gone
is
over
elevation.
how strong Goku is
Shout out to
compared to
Consciously,
Naruto
you
in
feel
pretty
me?
decent videos in the past, and not a whole lot has changed, to be honest, I'll go over this initial rundown pretty briefly, as well as some new Naruto stuff that can potentially be relevant and to give him some benefit of the doubt, so we can get to the main point of why we're all actually here. In terms of raw power, we've all heard this a million times. Goku is a guy who could pretty much evaporate an infinitely sized macrocosm consisting of multiple infinite-sized universal realms in a big ball that then sinks these infinite-sized universal bodies in the sky so massive that a universe is not even visible in comparison. He can do this in base form even by the time of mid-super, when he surpasses Super Saiyan God in his base form, then can multiply his power hundreds of times over with Super Saiyan Blue, and then can multiply it even further with Ultra Instinct as he shakes an infinite realm called the World of Void alongside Jiren, the strongest mortal in the multiverse. In many videos, I outlined Goku surpassing himself hundreds of thousands of times over in just 40 minutes during the term of the power, and by the time the end of Z rolls around, he does it again. It's worse if you think he surpasses Beerus and Arale who has narrative eraser qualities, and can surpass her own fiction potentially infinitely, kind of like a SpongeBob character, which I outlined here. In terms of speed, he can potentially fight guys faster than instant transmission by the Buu Saga going off this page layout being kind of weird, and the Granola arc potentially as well. With his energy expanding infinitely instantly, even lowballing, he scales to guys who can fly around the infinite macrocosm in minutes, with travel speed itself not even being Dragon Ball's strong suit on top of that. Naruto, on the other hand, by
the concept, okay, the ending of Dragon Ball GT to me low-key was godlike. Because by the end of GT, Goku had like found peace. Like he was like very like, I don't know. Like he was on a different realm. Like nigga was damn near like he had Toon Force or some shit. Like he was like he surpassed the reality. By the end of Super, Goku should be stronger than everyone. I think. If they fuck it. It's been going on for so long, they might as well just get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Because Goku, his whole thing is he wants to be the strongest and he wants to fight stronger opponents and better himself. So fuck it. I say by the end of Z, Goku and Vegeta should be sneaking with Grand Priest and Zeno. They should have erasure immunity. Fuck it. Actually, don't do too much, bruh. But like Akira Toriyama should have ended this a little minute ago. He's not here now. So I'd really just like to see like that Goku at peace. He's done everything he needed type of Goku. Like the fully matured, realized Goku. That we all get bits and pieces of. You feel what I'm saying?
time Momoshiki rolls up in Boruto, is rivaling or surpassing Kaguya, who can nuke at bare minimum a large planetary dimension to possibly a solar system because of stars shown in the distance in some of these dimensions, a nebula, galaxy, or perhaps even larger if you use some of the video games like Storm. Some will argue Momoshiki straight up created his dimension rather than conquered it, in which case there are many stars in the Momoshiki arc as seen here when Boruto and Naruto finish him off with a father-son Rasengan, TM, making his dimension highballing at least multiple solar systems large and possibly galactic scales.
Look at Dragon Ball putting on once again years later. I don't know about that father-son Kamehameha. That's literally what that shit was. Come on now. He literally, you know what I'm saying? Put it in his hands type shit.
Anime guides will even call these dimensions isekais or parallel worlds. So if you assume it's a parallel universe that Momoshiki can bring energy from beyond, or he created them, then that could be, say, a universal feat. If you really, really want to wank, which against Goku Cripple, we will be giving to Naruto. Naruto then alongside Sasuke can face down against Momoshiki while heavily nerfed from having his energy stolen, around 50%
I ain't gonna lie,
so.
that been popped up as a hit marker, but that shit still sound like it hurt though.
And with Baryon mode, he surpasses even Ishiki, who is so strong, he can blitz Naruto and Sasuke at full power, and easily surpasses Momoshiki 1v1. Even when Ishiki was extremely nerfed in his Jigen state, he was literally flying through Sasuke Susanoo like Superman and taking them both down 2v1 with almost no effort. For this video, we'll be giving Naruto unlimited Baryon mode, so he simply has access to all scaling of these higher tier characters, said maybe Shibai and so forth, but that's for another day, so stay tuned.
I don't even know who that is.
In terms of speed, the novels such as Kakashi Retsuden have Jonin and special Jonin level characters attacking at the speed of light, with a chakraless, heavily fatigued Naruto even reacting to photons that also launch at the speed of light. These special Jonin are then surpassed by a character named Kido, who multiplies his strength and potentially speed 8,000 times over, and Sakura, who is Baryon mode Naruto's clear inferior, can actually face him. There's also an anime special where Hagoromo hides polar particles in a meteor, which he hides and places within a different constellation at potentially hundreds to thousands of times the speed of light, depending on how long you think this took him. With our foundation laid, we can go into further detail about how much shorter Goku's level will be with all of these factors stated from earlier. Goku is clearly massively stronger in all stats. Even if you said Baryon mode Naruto is a hypothetical universe buster, it just wouldn't really matter. So let's put those nerfs on Goku and even out the playing field. The first one.
What are we watching? You feel what I'm saying? Like, this is what we have to do. This is what I'm talking about when the generations are fucked. We tending to everybody's needs. They literally put in a situation where Naruto wins and he's still finna lose. That's insanity.
The loss of all his limbs. Can Goku fight without limbs? Does he actually need them for a conflict with Naruto? Shockingly, we actually see this directly shown in the series and the exact scaling connotations it has. In original Dragon Ball during the 23rd Budokai Tenkaichi arc, where Son Goku confronts the son of King Piccolo, Jr., also known as the Piccolo we all know of. During this fight, it is made really clear how far Piccolo and Goku are above everyone else in the story, as it is somewhat foreshadowing and establishing the next saga of the story.
Well, y'all better not ever, thank you, y'all better not ever play with Dragon Ball storyline ever again. Y'all telling some, they're aliens, this nigga did everything, go watch Dragon Ball. Half the niggas who hate on Dragon Ball, Z, Super, the whole franchise didn't watch OG Dragon Ball, which they say you don't have to, which you really don't, which is insane. But if you want to know the full truth, if you want the storyline, you want that adventure, you want all this other shit people be talking about, go watch OG Dragon Ball.
The Budokai Tenkaichi means and is the strongest under the heavens martial arts tournament, but you'll notice that this time the final combatants are just that, beings from the heavens raised on Earth to their unawares. So when Goku fights this, he is now ready to challenge the strongest in the heavens themselves, which introduces us to that whole alien saga and blah blah blah.
Thank you.
For Goku to show
they had to go somewhere else. He already strongest on Earth. He's an alien. Only way for him to get stronger is to fight more aliens. Then he whooping other aliens. Where else is he finna go? He finna fight gods. Every anime does this. Every anime does it, but when it's Dragon Ball, niggas wanna hate. Look at Naruto. Now they fighting gods. The fuck? Look at One Piece. If you don't think One Piece is about to enter the world of religion and gods and deities, you are drunk as fuck. Luffy's literally the sun god. Thank you.
He was ready for the next part. He actually has
Bleach. That nigga's every race in the planet. He might as well be God.
to prove he alone is the Tenkaichi winner, while also having Piccolo a threat to the world that realistically can still win against
Asta's literally the devil. Part-time, basically.
Goku in, say, a tournament setting, such as a ring out, as we all know he's not actually going to kill Goku. This is established a few ways by Toriyama, in which many people threaten to jump Piccolo mid-match, such as Kami blocking a hit for Goku, and Goku letting Piccolo haymaker him for free to set up for it. Everyone in the tournament is trying to jump Piccolo when Goku is on his last leg, and it being implied he's still above all of them even while barely being able to stand. And yes, Son, literally surpassing everyone in the story so far, with literally zero use of his limbs and a massive hole in his chest, almost on par with Whitebeard from One Piece and Marineford, or Obito during the Naruto Shippuden War arc, he literally surpasses the whole story up to that point in pretty much a pseudo-god while having no limbs or function of his body. A story full of moonbusters up to that point, and even a guardian of the whole planet who could create these moons, many of which surpass the speed of lightning and probably even the speed of light going off of certain translations from data books like Dragon Ball Forever or Daizenshu. But how strong was this crippled Goku to them really? The few indicators are like this, and generally all say something similar. Son and Junior were about 50% power at one point in the fight, and we're still in a complete league of power different than the rest of the cast.
Y'all see that? How one's named Son, other one's named Junior? Come on now. Stop playing like this shit wasn't meant to be.
Just shortly after the
They got Piccolo fucked up later though. Piccolo's an alien too. He should have kept up. It should have been a big three. Just like in One Piece, it's Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. It should have been Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo as like the top three dogs handling big business. But you know, this is this is the blueprint right here. He didn't get to, think that far. He just did the shit. That's why they say One Piece is a better written Dragon Ball. If you know what I'm saying, if you really miss that Dragon Ball feeling, watch One Piece. I'm telling you, the only reason One Piece and Dragon Ball hate each other is because one hasn't watched the other. I'm dead serious. If you watch both, you will completely understand both anime.
The Super Kamehameha, Kami trying to block one of Piccolo's punches for Goku, and then them beginning to blitz Kami until they exhaust themselves. Meaning at full strength, they are way over twice as powerful as Kami. Junior states that his power has multiplied many times since they last fought, the last being Ultra Divine Water Goku versus King Piccolo. This coincides with Tien thinking he can outspeed someone on King Piccolo's level after the time skip, although he thinks he can't match them in strength. This may imply that the multiplier from King Piccolo to Junior at max is over 3 times, as if it were 2 times, it would just say doubled or multiplied, and if it was just 3 times, they would say several, but they say multiplied many times, implying it might be over 2 times. In terms of official numbers, this is actually supported, as Son Goku reaches a power level of 910 in V-Jump with his Super Kamehameha or his max strength during this tournament, which Piccolo can survive with his own attack with intense difficulty, their stamina not even depleting too noticeably after this beam struggle. Power levels in Dragon Ball being just an objective number given to a certain strength level of ki detected, and in databook or guide form, it's just the official number given we know of. After fighting much longer from the half-power statement, it's confirmed that Junior can take on over 100 Master Roshis, Tiens, Krillins, etc., with Kami even helping them, which Roshi agrees to. By the way, one Roshi can do this.
Fuck. I'm sorry, y'all. Fuck.
The sky! It's been demooned! It's gone!
Then after all of this, while Piccolo's at half power, he uses his final gamble, which is a power Goku has never felt before. With these power levels, you can low ball and high ball, and Kami at the start of Dragon Ball Z has a power level of 220 due to his 5-year time skip nerf, and a power level of over 260 by the 23rd Budokai. As he surpasses the Goku who could fight King Piccolo at 260, Goku goes from anywhere from 910 to above 260 and beyond after losing access to all his limbs, taking immense damage, and so forth, meaning after being crippled and just getting through an immensely difficult battle, meaning 2 of the prerequisites of the meme, he was still at over 1/4 of his maximum strength.
Totally.
And this is also, surprisingly, immensely consistent with Toriyama's intent for the way ki control and strength work in the series. In quote, "In battle, the most important thing is the size of your ki and your control over it. Ki as a concept, of course, includes such spiritual powers such as Genki, energy, or courage, Yuki, and right-mindedness, Shoki. No matter how much you train, there are limits to physical strength, and the only way to overcome that is through ki. I think Goku was able to approach the mightiest warriors in the universe through strengthening his ki." End quote. Should be noted that energy, or Genki, can be referring to health and vigor, which I find particularly relevant for this video. Basically, with your body's physical status and energy actually only relating to 1/3 of your overall ki output and function, or just a piece of the formula that is then amplified by your spirit.
Look at the detail this nigga put in his work, man. And niggas talking about some Dragon Ball got no. Come on now. Now that you know about all the keys, shit's starting to make sense, ain't it?
So fans who don't understand, this is sort of like how in Naruto they manifest chakra through their own mental and physical energies, and then Sage Chakra would be adding Senjutsu to the mix and creating a little concoction. Dragon Balls just includes more components for the energy in general. This is why when Gohan loses an arm against Super Perfect Cell, blocking for Vegeta, his ki does in fact drop, but not as much as Gohan thinks, with the biggest hit actually being to his right-mindedness and courage, or his Shoki and Yuki, thus negating or removing.
Well, stop playing my nigga Akira Toriyama. The fuck? And like, this is, you know what I'm saying? This is just something I automatically assume. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? Dragon Ball has always taught to have a strong mind and fight through whatever you're going through. You know what I'm saying? To be the best at what you are and fight through all obstacles. That's just been its thing. now you seeing how it makes sense, a part of the story and all that other stuff. I wish this video would go out and clips like this will go out and show you fuck niggas Dragon Ball really like that.
Improving his ability to maximize his key output. So Goku, with huge hits to his body's ability to function, a big drop in energy, and still wanting to win the tournament, could still exert enough power to put down Piccolo when even the God of Earth could not. This would also explain why Goku is more confident in Gohan's ability to fight Cell than Gohan is, as he has direct experience with something worse than what Gohan is going through. It's worse if you think their power levels are more akin to what Raditz scans at the start of Dragon Ball Z, only reaching the 400-ish or high 300s, which in the case Goku may be at over half strength even when crippled. Daizenshu also gives the Raditz numbers as well, but there is a weird side narrative where the Super Kamehameha power level of 910 during the 23rd Budokai is more so a concentrated strength reading that Vegeta suggests as a fault in Raditz's assumptions about Earth's strength to Nappa a bit later. So it's weird that the Daizenshu kind of uses these nerfed base levels rather than their hypothetical max powers, but I suppose it would be kind of weird to assume what those would be. Power levels can also be exponential, but you'll notice during the Saiyan saga around when Kaioken is introduced, they become a lot more linear. Example, Kaioken times 2 Goku goes from 8,000 to 16,000, just below the 18,000 Vegeta, thus needing 3.
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon, and you should too. Don't spend another dime on Amazon.
3 times to surpass that, 24,000.
Y'all really got to think about Vegeta though. Like, I want y'all to think about this. This is talent versus hard work. Goku's the definition of hard work. Vegeta's the definition of talent. This nigga was born high class Saiyan, high power level, warrior, fader, brawler. Y'all know this shit. Goku knows how to fight, literally. He's learned martial arts. Like, he has a fighting style. He's not just fighting. Vegeta just fights. And you can see it in the way he fights. Even though he's learning martial arts now, you know what I'm saying? He's obviously learned martial arts sparring against Goku and all that. And being with Whis and all this shit. It's a martial arts show. You know what I'm saying? That's how anime is. Most of the shit they do is martial arts anyways. But, yeah, like, this nigga Vegeta, pure warrior. Like, dog. Like if we flip the script, right, and Vegeta goes to Earth and Goku comes to land on, bro, Vegeta's beating the shit out of Goku 9 times out of 10. Every single time, Goku's never touching those. Dead seer, literally.
It's also the safest assumption, but if you want to get crazy and say Goku crippled gets to like 1/1000 full strength or something, it doesn't really change a lot of things, which I'll get into soon. With that, that's at bare minimum the first criteria met. Goku, while crippled and with a massive battle under his belt, can still reasonably be at over 1/4 his total power. The next 2 on the checklist are a lot less.
This nigga is like a scientific program. This nigga's name is Seth the Program.
Complex, weirdly enough.
I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Can Goku defeat Naruto with a blindfold on and with earbuds in? I think pretty much every Dragon Ball fan on planet Earth will answer the blindfold question without the need for this video. Goku can sense where you are without sight due to being able to sense your vital energies, or ki, and he learns this while training on Kami's lookout with Mr. Popo, but he actually goes further than you'd think. During the Buu Saga, Goku faces off against a character named Yakon, with an evil wizard named Babidi using his magic to transport them to Yakon's home planet, which has no light. During this, we learn that Goku can actually sense where you are by sensing vibrations in the air and then countering, which he does against Yakon in just base form. This is a useful statement because it implies it's not just based on sensing the unique energy in Dragon Ball. This is actually further elaborated on when Goku's son Gohan in Dragon Ball Super has to learn Goku's more enhanced and experienced type of non-ki sensing in the Zen exhibition match against another universe with different energy. Another reason I love the Dragon Ball Super anime more than the manga. During this, Gohan gets blinded and poisoned, and can still fight his opponent Lavender, who potentially rivals or surpasses even good Majin Buu with high precision until his poison debuff starts to wear him down. Even feeling the slightest movement on his hair, moving at probably much faster than light speeds, allows Gohan to react to this guy, and he is far inferior to Goku in terms of fight skill at this point in the series. In fact, Gohan during this fight is actually called rusty and often called ill-trained and out of shape. It's actually a big meme in the community. Goku can also
I hate
react to
that
things
shit.
that don't even technically exist. Example, during his Beerus fight, he reacts to Beerus about to kill him in an instant, even though he can't sense Beerus' energy and Beerus hasn't even moved. This is implied to be an introduction to Ultra Instinct, which is why Beerus asks Goku if he is some type of genius and grows more interested in him. This instinct is then further shown and foreshadowed where Goku can fight Hit while he basically teleports in from the future by just using raw intuition and instinct against a guy who has more years of experience and he can't sense actually appearing. By current Dragon Ball, Goku can actually use Ultra Instinct in his lesser forms and even a tad bit in his base, but can use the Ultra Instinct transformations at will. Obviously, the earbuds aren't a nerf, since hearing was never a part of any of these equations to begin with.
Literally.
In fact, hearing is one of the less utilized senses in Dragon Ball, with Android 17 and Piccolo being the only real standouts in this category. Well, that and they can just kind of yell at each other from sometimes multiple football fields of distance away and have a perfectly cohesive conversation somehow, no matter where they are. Most interesting as well is the more in dire straits Goku is in, the more the instinct actually comes out. As shown during the Tournament of Power, this means his body's terrible physical condition might bring out more instinct rather than less against Naruto. Finally, is the disadvantage Goku would have with the heart disease, also known as the viral heart disease or infection. This one is pretty weird one to scale and is probably the hardest, so you'll have to play ball with me a little bit here, because it is the most assumption-based, as the only time we actually see it displayed is arguably in one of the most vague scaling points in the series. Right after power levels drop off, but before we get any real numbers for transformations or forms, etc. Overall, you'll find people say the most different things around this point and maybe the Buu arc when it comes to the original Dragon Ball series, and in the video games such as the Budokai series, viral heart disease was a debuff skill you could put on your character that would drastically decrease your HP as you fought, basically giving you and your opponent a self-imposed time limit gimmick, and in the anime it's somewhat similar, with Goku gradually losing time and power to fight as he boxes up Android 19 with Super Saiyan until he collapses. This really didn't help in this situation particularly because Android 19 has an interesting ability to absorb ki, so if Goku shot a ki blast and
Want to know? I took my
That was
business to
one
the
of the
next
worst
level.
moments
It's
for
simple.
Goku. I ain't
It's
gonna lie.
Shopify.
Now,
Whether-
them adding, bruh, come on, bro. We gotta add Goku's heart disease to this. Are we serious right now? We nerfing him that bad? We might as well have not even did the debate. The fuck? Nigga said, okay. This nigga basically said, if you fight me, you gotta have cancer. The fuck? Who the fuck are you?
a bunch of his key reserves he needed to use sparingly in this moment, it would just drain from Goku stats and then buff 19 stats until he multiplies his strength, with Sun not really so sure about what 19 even did at that time. It's also confirmed in both this fight and in Dragon Ball Super that Super Saiyan seems to have a weird debuff with your immune system. You'd imagine normally that a power-up would say increase the power of your cells or your metabolism, make a disease be fought a little bit better. But it seems to only increase the spread of the disease or poison's effects without actually aiding in its removal in any way. If anything, putting strain on your body, especially at this point in the series where this is not mastered Super Saiyan. The way Vegeta describes Android 19 versus Goku is Goku putting strain on his heart with Super Saiyan. So how do we calculate how much weaker it actually even made him? Did it make him that much weaker? We could try to make some scaling lines between Yardrat Goku versus Android Saga Goku, but it's not too fun, maybe to lead into Tien calling sick heart disease Super Saiyan Goku in a different dimension from him still. Even though Tien sensed Goku versus Trunks before the training skip, he doesn't seem to sense anything abnormal or weak about this heart disease Goku. Unlike Piccolo, who trained with Sun personally for 3 years, and Vegeta, who knows how strong Goku should probably be. Everyone else still assumes Goku's in God mode way beyond their comprehension, showing he's probably still in a class or higher than what he displayed against Trunks around the time of Mecha Frieza's arrival. Mecha Frieza uses over 10 times the power he used to destroy Namek on Super Saiyan Trunks in the anime guides with his Supernova attack, and Trunks in the future timeline faces off against androids that can take down future Gohan, future Super Saiyan Vegeta, and so on, just using less than half power.
Trunks literally went through time just to get stronger. That nigga went through time, did what he was supposed to do, and still motherfucking went back to the future. and the shit was the same. No, none of his family was back. None of that. He didn't change shit. That's what kind of
And
blew me.
finally
Like,
going
this
above-
nigga didn't build a time machine. This nigga built a dimension machine. That bitch went through a different
that to
dimension.
defeat Gohan in the end. Whereas in the present, Vegeta faces off against a stronger Android 18 at arguably full power, and then loses due to not having infinite stamina. It's then pretty much confirmed that Vegeta is stronger than Goku, even if Goku wasn't sick. However, something to note is that Piccolo only says he might have surpassed Goku, which is a very important statement as it means he's more so inching for Vegeta to be stronger, meaning they're probably still somewhat in a similar league, with Vegeta tipping the scale slightly more in his favor. This is useful as we see sick Goku and Vegeta both fight the same guy right after one another, leading us to a much more useful method than trying to power scale training gains. Goku is fatigued before he even starts fighting 19, actually. Panting, his heart is freaking out, even just flying to the battlefield is kind of exhausting. He's able to surpass all of Jiro's calculations and make Tien think he is still in a whole dimension of power above him. The problem then becomes, Son didn't know that 19 could absorb ki, so when he shoots a Kamehameha to finish 19 or damage him, 19 drains that, multiplies his power, then gets the upper hand as Son falls short from his sickness. Then Vegeta, who is slightly greater than not sick Goku, has to fight the same 19, but now multiplied in strength. 19 can actually draw blood from Vegeta, with Vegeta then bullying him and ripping his arms off even after getting loads of energy stolen, then obliterating him with a Big Bang attack when he can't absorb energy anymore. He then has to bluff to Android 20 or Dr. Gero that he can fight still, when Gero would have mopped him easily, meaning this multiplied 19 with the drain on Vegeta briefly could take him almost a fraction of his strength. This is pretty meaningful considering 19's
I mean, Naruto's not stronger than Android 19.
only amp
So
to draw
that
blood
kind
from
of
Vegeta
proves.
despite Vegeta normally being strong
You know
enough
what I'm
to
saying?
no-diff him, came from sick Goku. Multiply is a subjective word, and at the bare minimum he became 2 times stronger. Usually when a character gets 3 times stronger, it would be stated to be several times greater, with 4 times and higher being multiplied multiple times over, usually. By the time you get to 10 times, it can still fall under the term multiplied, but that is when it starts to shift to orders of magnitude difference. This is shown in, say, Bleach guidebooks with, say, Ulquiorra's Cero Oscuros, or with Ulquiorra's Black Cero, with over 24 times being dozens and so forth. In Dragon Ball Super, Batara is even called dozens of times greater or tens of times, so multiplied is a weird term. But it should be noted that 19 was already somewhat in a tier to even take a punch from Goku before his main decline in strength, and Goku was
Never underestimate the power of kindness. But of course, not that of a firebolt either.
above him, as he started off the bat going all out. You also have to take Gero into account. He says, "You've already multiplied your strength, you're so greedy." But if 19 got, say, 100 times stronger or something, he would have probably had a much different outlook with that statement, with Gero being a bit stronger than 19 off the start, just like Vegeta was a bit stronger than Goku. That being said, it's safe to say the heart virus probably didn't nerf him more than, say, a Super Saiyan buff, as Piccolo himself, reaching Super Saiyan levels, trained to fight Super Saiyan Goku in the manga covers, not base Goku. It's very unlikely base Goku could have done much here, just like base Gohan was stated by Piccolo to be no match for Gero. So for this video, we'll give the heart disease a 50 times nerf to Goku's starting stats, which is very, very critical based on the term multiplied.
Because he
And
already
honestly,
only has 1/4 strength. We've discussed that. On top of that, so he got 1/4 strength cut in half.
makes zero sense with the narrative considering what Vegeta literally does right after this. Now that we have all the data laid out, let's put some numbers on this abomination. We can stack the debuffs on top of one another and actually get a pretty extreme downplayed version of what he'd actually be for video's sake, just so everyone will agree. You divide his strength by 50 times, putting him at 2% strength for the viral heart disease, which as we outlined is kind of stretching it. It should be much less of a nerf at first. Then you take away his limbs and make him fatigued like he was in the 23rd Budokai and divide his strength to either 0.5% if you think he was around 1/4 when he slammed Piccolo, or 0.002% if you really wanted to stretch it to an unrealistic degree. We went over earlier that being blinded and with earbuds won't actually really change anything, so that doesn't really need to be calculated. You guys have to remember, some characters like Vegito can literally be turned into a chocolate ball and still whoop on a guy that can scream away the universe into oblivion, which is much worse than this example. That ability only applies to Vegito, but Dragon Ball characters tend to be extremely nerfed a lot of the time. Even at 0.002% strength, if a full power Goku surpasses himself from Battle of Gods potentially millions of times over, these nerfs don't really do anything for the outcome of the fight. It's arguable Goku uses less strength than this during the Tournament of Power against multiple people and was so fatigued at points that he couldn't even go Super Saiyan, which is almost as natural as his base form at that point in the series as he has Master Super Saiyan. And not only that, but Ultra Instinct is never stated to amplify poisons or diseases, with Goku being able to access Instinct the more he's in a pinch and damaged, rather than the reverse. With him going Omen for the first time after his body was basically almost vaporized by his own Spirit Bomb against Jiren. By Super, it may be arguable Goku can restart and actually manipulate his own heart with Ki, such as when he healed his literal crushed and destroyed heart post-mortem after being assassinated by Hit. He can focus poisons and things in his body probably like Vegito can, and so much more. So not only does the heart disease do less at this point in the series, but he may be able to circumvent its effects more than in the Android Saga as an example, and thus can fight longer with it. All in all, even with no limbs, Goku can Ki mug Naruto and obliterate him with the sheer stat check between them, and he can also shoot Mouth Blast if you think he couldn't just blast through him with a weird headbutt motion or a Ki barrier. The only way Naruto realistically really wins is if the heart virus is in the stage where Goku is bedridden. Then Naruto will have to pray Goku doesn't wake up, glare his Ki in a quick burst at him really hard before laying back down, and shake the whole universe and obliterate him. Anyway, you guys get the idea.
There's so many things that like fucking Goku has done that I forgot about. Like I forgot bro basically has telekinesis and shit.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video. I had a great time watching it, so be sure to subscribe.
That's a hard ass drawing right there. Okay. But hey man. So all in all, Goku blindfolded, sick as fuck, earmuffs, no limbs, is still beating Naruto. I guess, bruh. I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, Naruto's not 0.02% of Goku's strength. Are we being for it? But you gotta think about, we really gotta think about the difference between a character that's solar system level and universal. We think it's like this. Oh, he's just solar system. He's universal. A universe has multiple solar systems in it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you ain't even galaxy. And the universe got millions of those too. So it's like, okay, all right, I can get it. Not being 0.02, I can understand now. Okay. Hey man, like, comment, subscribe, man, if you fuck with the videos, you know what I'm saying? Thank you.
I'm smoking okay. Yeah, I hit the now I'm taking off. I'm taking off. Yeah, I came from the bottom, I went to the top. Now I'm taking off. I'm taking off. I'm taking off. I'm taking off.